Good morning, students. Took a look at all of your assignments from last week, and most of you did very well. I think you captured all the important information, and you showed that on your weekly review. Today, we are going to finish up our argumentative essay lesson. And we're going to talk about the counter-argument, editing, reviewing your material before you hand it in. And we're going to do a practice argumentative essay that's due April 6th. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the counter-argument and why this is important to your argumentative essay. First of all, it strengthens your own point of view if you can show the counter-argument and argue against it. But you should give acknowledgement to it. One of the other things that's kind of important in the essay is the use of linking words, such as however, it is true that, it is argued that, and so forth. Your paragraph for the counterargument should be a little longer than your other two paragraphs. 6, 7 sentences, something like that. The topic sentence disagrees with the thesis statement as your opening. You want to elaborate to develop this point of view, provide an example, and give your rebuttal, usually starting with the linking word however. Make your elaboration point, again, example, and then link back to the essay question. Seems like a lot. Try to capture as many of these points as you can in your counter-argument paragraph. Okay, so at this point here, let's take 5 minutes and go to the description box below and watch the attached video, How to Write an Argumentative Essay, the counter paragraph. And then we'll come back and continue our discussion. Okay, so in this part here, we're going to talk about the editing process. After you've written your argumentative essay, take the time to go over this material, go over your material, and make sure that it sounds right. You've made your points, and you want to really check your language and grammar. These are key points that the test corrector will be looking at, and you can lose points for very small grammatical or language, spelling. Try to keep your sentences. You want a mixture of both short and long, but not super long sentences. And make sure that you have really achieved the question task. Make sure you've answered it from every possible point of view. On the eye exam, which is different than the examples that I've given you so far, or that you'll be writing today, will give you points, point of view on the test materials to choose from. So in actual fact, what I'm asking you to do in this practice argumentative essay assignment is more difficult than the exam test itself. Okay, good luck. A good method to review your argumentative essay is to use the reverse REHVAQ, which is content, organization, vocabulary, accuracy, and hedging. So the first thing you want to do is really check your content. Okay, did you answer the question? Do you have your two positive claims and one counter argument, a introductory paragraph, and your conclusion? Next, we want to look at the organization. So make sure you indent 5 spaces between your paragraphs. And you want to make sure that all of your paragraphs link together. We've gone over this before. Vocabulary, you can use a variety of vocabulary. If you know higher end academic vocabulary and can use it well and feel confident, use it. If you're not sure, you don't know, you're not clear about the meaning exactly, avoid it. You want to be very accurate with the grammar. You can make sure that you have some conditional sentences, relative clauses, use the passive voice, noun phrases. Okay, these are all positive things that you can have in your argumentative essay. If you're unsure of your argument, you can do something called hedging, and that is to start the statement with maybe or probably, likely, sometimes. Or you could use modal verbs such as could, might, and may. Again, this is a lot. It's in depth. Do your best, but do spend time reviewing before you hand in your test. This is not a one and done situation. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this video here. Take about 5 minutes, and it's about the editing process that we just talked about. So you've written your essay, you have your points, you have your counter argument, but we haven't really talked about the final paragraph, your conclusion yet, and we will do that in a different lesson. But we've already started talking about the editing process. So you've been working on this essay on your own. It's kind of running around in your own mind. You understand it. It seems logical to you. All of the key points are there. Seems grammatically correct. But can someone else read your essay and come to the same conclusions? So the very last part of the editing process, after you've made your corrections, done this on your own, it's always best to have someone else read it. And that's called the peer review. This may be your final editing process. It may. Maybe not. Nevertheless, if you're not a native speaker of English, try to find someone who is to read it, to read your essay. And do they understand it really? Does it flow? Does everything connect? Does it make sense? Is it grammatically correct? Is there any suggestions that they might have to improve on your essay? So after that, taking what they've suggested, if it works, that's great. You've done a great job. If it doesn't, make those corrections. We learn by our mistakes, so no worries. Now, finally, after the peer review, what you want to do is you want to take your essay and you want to put it away for a couple of days. Then read it one last time before you hand it in. You may discover some small typo errors or something like that. We've been working so closely to this assignment that sometimes we may overlook some of the minor details. So it's always best to put the essay away, do something else, and then come back to it a couple of days later for one final review before you hand it in. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.